Hello and welcome along to another episode of this FM19 story, part of the furniture with me, Daniel. It's season 9, episode 8, and today we play our final game of the championship season, away against the reputable Cardiff, having guaranteed our highest ever finish in this division, despite a disappointing run in the second half of the year. So again, we're out of the playoff picture with a few games to go, but as we get to the final day of the season, we are guaranteed a top half place, and that's about all we could have asked for at the start of the season, although it seems a little more disappointing having been at the top for most of the first half. In other bits of bad news, Adam Lewis has continued his ongoing trend. For the third year in a row, he's got injured for the end of the season. He's been out with a hernia for about 3 weeks, and he's got a couple more to go, so he won't feature today. He didn't get to feature in our final game at Plainmoor as well, and after this game, we'll have a look to next season. We've got big plans for the window, a change of tactic, and obviously we've got a new stadium to move into too. But on to the positives, we have somewhat found form again, finally after 4 months of disappointment. We've still scored the most goals in the league, and we've no longer conceded the most. We're moving up ever so slightly, although that record's still not very impressive. If we go and look at the schedule since the last episode, you're with me for that brilliant 4-3 comeback win against Reading. 4 goals wasn't enough in the following game though, as we lost 5-4 at home to Stoke. Absolutely incredible this. I finally thought we'd done it when we got back to 4-0 in the 83rd minute, but just 1 minute later we managed to concede the winner. Then a 2-2 draw followed away to champions Fulham. That was a brilliant result. We went for a defensive formation in that one. We played with a holding player rather than a number 10, and that seemed to work quite well. The same wasn't the case at home to Sunderland though, and we had to revert to our normal formation for the last 20. Thankfully Frank Hall got us an equaliser, otherwise we would have fallen to defeat again. Then we went away to Portman Road to face Ipswich. We got absolutely annihilated. 3-0 in the first half, and we never looked like coming back into it. Adam Lewis missed a penalty late on. It was one of the best saves I've ever seen from a penalty, but that doesn't make us feel any better. We did get a 0-0 draw though away at Derby in the following one. We defended really well here, and just did enough to hang on and get a vital point in the end. Before this game we were down in 15th place, and we needed this point to stop the rot. We got back into the top half with it, and you can see we've never looked back since. So 3 wins on the trot since then coming into this one. A 1-0 win at home to Sheffield United started that. Our penultimate game at Plainmoor, Bobby Duncan scored the winner early on, and we defended for our lives towards the end of the game. We then played already relegated Rotherham away from home. They're shoehorned to finish bottom of the league. We were 3-0 up just after the break, and a late consolation did nothing to dampen our mood as we got ourselves well into the playoff contention. Unfortunately though, despite a 2-1 win at home to Preston in our last game at our old ground, it wasn't enough to keep us in the playoff hunt, as a few other teams won their games and the 4-point gap was just too much, meaning we could no longer make it. Armando Broja got a little knock in that one, but he was replaced by John Gerrard, who again produced heroics off the bench, and Bobby Duncan with the winner, something we've said so often this year. So plenty of positives moving into the new season. It's not done enough to save the formation, although 2 goals conceded in 4 games is something I'm really delighted about. We've changed nothing tactically at all, so I've no idea where it's come from, but we'll be happy enough to take it moving into the summer months. So 8th place we sit. If we go and look at the table, there's plenty of positions we can still finish. We can go all the way down to 12th if we lose today, and we could finish as high as 7th. Obviously a top half finish is beyond our expectations, and again we've done brilliantly. Our main goals for today though, trying to get Broja the top goal scorer stat, and trying to get Nico Williams up to the top of the assist chart. Both of those are going to be difficult, mainly because we're playing a few of the youngsters, and Nico Williams is going to be coming off the bench. So let's go and have a look at the lineup. A bit like last year, it's a chance to see some of the brilliant youth intake players and give them more football. We give them a lot of sub appearances over the year, but someone like Gerrard, for example, despite 7 goals and 30 appearances, only 2 of those are from the start in the league. We're also experimenting with a couple of other things, so we've got a cover in centre half. I just want to see how that works for next season. Not too much else going on there. I keep playing around with these central midfield roles, but I don't think we're finding an ideal solution. Only one loanee in the starting 11, and that's Otte because Lewis is unavailable. So our line-up for today is Alex Bass in goal, Taylor and Obi coming at centre-half alongside Reece Williams, Shalabar's down to the bench, the experienced man. We know all about him and don't need to find out anymore. And Robson Brown's had a knock, he's not quite fully fit. Richard Quirk comes in on the right, that's in place of Nico Williams. He's ready for first team football now, and if we revert to our back four next year, he'll be our first choice right back. We've got McDonald and a young Fibber-Asima in the middle, Ian McCann in the number 10 role, and Armando Broja and John Gerrard up front as we try to get Broja the golden boot. So let's get into this game and see what these youngsters can do before looking at the end of season review and talk about our plans for next season. It's the familiar 4-2-3-1 for Cardiff. We've seen it so many times this season. Unfortunately, we've not done too well against it, but I think that counts for all formations in recent months. We're going to encourage the lads, just see what the youngsters have got in them. We're not too worried about the results today. It's just about trying to put on a performance. A bit like Colchester last year, although against far stronger opposition. Again, we've changed out of the yellow kit into light blue, despite playing against a team who were in blue themselves. A bit of a tongue twister that one, and they've put their first shot wide of the post. I've no idea what's going on with these kit changes, but it doesn't matter too much. On this occasion we can tell the difference. Cardiff have a free kick in a dangerous position, but thankfully it's wide of the post. 5 minutes gone, we survive at 0-0, and now we've got an attack of our own. Reece Williams on the end of a corner straight into the keeper's hands, and now Cardiff can build from the back and create a good chance themselves. They haven't had a shot on target yet, but we've seen more highlights from them going forward. They've got into good positions, and we've given away set pieces already. 3 fouls already is not like us at all, and we want to make sure we don't make that a habit as we're so bad defending set pieces. More pace hit the post though. We were struggling from open play there, but we've hacked it away and survive at 0-0, although it's another corner here. Falls for Tierney, then Tainio. It's blocked by 2, the third one's blocked as well. We're throwing bodies on the line, but it's not the most convincing of defending. Set pieces is something we've really got to look at next year. We need a leader or two in there to sort out the pack. Alex Bass has had a good run for us. I'm starting to think if it's a bit too much for him. He's just an average championship keeper, and we might need more than that if we chase promotion. 15 minutes gone though. We'd certainly have taken this result at the start, but there's a long way to go, and I'm sure Cardiff will have more chances. Nearly half an hour gone, the game's gone quiet, and that's what we like to see. If these youngsters could get a 0-0, it'd be a brilliant result for them. Certainly boost their confidence at this level, as we're going to try and introduce a lot of them to the first team next year. We want to get a stronger first 11, and then give a lot of youngsters opportunities in the cup competitions, as well as off the bench, if we can get games where we get a 2 or 3 goal lead. But 5 minutes till the break here, and I'm really pleased with the performance so far. Probably not the best viewing as a game, but certainly we're doing our bit. It's Laird at right back for Fulham though. It's not Fulham at all, it's Cardiff. Morpay gets the ball back to Tainio. We're always mixing the team names up this season. That's something new indeed. They've headed another one wide of the post at the near end, but Obi in that covering role seems to be following the runners a bit better. Something to consider next year, and despite Cardiff's 17 shots, they've not really created many clear-cut chances. Plenty of shots from outside the box, but they're not going to do us much harm. We'll encourage the lads. They've done well in that half, and if they can do the same in a second, we'll be delighted with the end to the season. Let's get into the second half then. It's us with the kick-off. Broja finds Gerrard, who's not had the best of games, but in that pressing forward role he really works so hard, though I don't know what that pass was there, as it's missed Richard Quirk and gone out for a throw. A poor start to the second half. Let's hope it doesn't get any worse than that. It's a throw in the left-back area for Otte. He finds Reece Williams. I'm not quite sure what to do with Otte. He's played quite well when he's come into the team, but as a left wing-back naturally, he can play left-back accomplished, but he's not particularly good there, and it's not a natural position. Next season, if we don't play with wing-backs, can I find a place for him in the team? I'm not too sure about that one yet. Gerrard shoots from 30 yards. It's straight at the keeper, but it's good to have another shot on target. It's rolled out by Cardiff. We're pressing them high. The long kick's gone forward though, and they've managed to control it. Earl on the right wing. He's got it past Otte and shoots from the edge. Alston with the second effort, and Bass has managed to get down to his right to make a fairly comfortable save in the end. Nearly an hour gone. It's still Cardiff with most of the attacks. I don't know what that slide was there from Richard Quirk. We probably want to get that out of him. In fact, I'm not too sure it was Quirk. The player seems to have been going back into McCann's position. Edwards with the ball on the edge. Falls for Palmer the second time. But these lads have really thrown their bodies on the line. They've worked so hard to keep the score around, and it's been fantastic so far to see a clean sheet. That could end soon though. Laird with a cross block by Otte, and it's back out to Laird on the right again. Earl's been challenged. It's out for a corner, but we're really defending for our lives. It's Earl who's going to take it himself. An Earl swinging delivery. There's plenty of men in there for Cardiff, but they go short outside the box. Tierney on the second attempt, Palmer on the third, and again 2 blocks by the Torquay defence, keeping Cardiff at bay. Now Quirk with a throw on the right. He finds Broger to McCann. Coming into the box, can we find the opening? Broger into Gerrard. Was that a foul? No, it wasn't, but McCann's effort forces a save. And now Broger into McCann again, but that control was poor and it's out for a goal kick. A few more minutes and we'll make some subs, but we're really doing well so far. It's Alston on the edge for Cardiff though. He finds Tierney on the left hand side, all the way back to the left back, and he switches it for Laird. He's got time to run into the box and forces a brilliant save from Bass, who tips the ball behind for a corner. It's Earl who will take it again. It's an out-swinging delivery. McDonald heads away at the front post and Palmer's ball back out wide is awfully overhit, and that's out for a goal kick, which is a signal to make some subs. Ian McCann's not had the best game. We're going to bring the January signing Ramsbottom on for him. Armando Broger's been poor as well, but I'm not sure what to do in that area. I think Frank Hall will be the replacement. He's going to go to the left-hand side and he'll go back to his preferred advanced forward role, with John Gerrard changing to the pressing role. The other one that's struggling is Rowan McDonald, but we're going to leave it 5 more minutes. Dysart's just coming back from injury. He's made 2 or 3 10 or 15 minute sub appearances. We're going to let him have one more today to celebrate the end of the season. A stalwart for us in the first half, and his injury coincided with it all going wrong. So let's get back into the game, see if we can keep this brilliant clean sheet. I'm sure Cardiff will get some more chances. It's just about how much we want to defend. Interestingly, Obi's gone above a 7 in that central defence role. Maybe a covering centre-half saves the problems. Do I then stick with a back 3? I don't know if I can judge that on one end of season game. Cardiff are 9th behind us. They've got nothing to play for, so it'd be a very risky strategy to base our whole season on that. Bearing in mind that we've not had many efforts as well. Cardiff have dominated the game, and now they've changed my mind by scoring from the edge. Alston with plenty of time, and that's the one difference having a covering player. They don't go into the stopper and press the ball. Hall with a free kick 30 yards out, puts it just wide of the post, and we are going to make that sub now. Fibrasima's going to be the man who comes off. Another 75 minutes for him, invaluable experience, but Dysart comes on, and we'll put him as an attacking role too, as he prefers to be going forward, and with 10 minutes to go on 1-0 down, there's no harm in that at all. It's Cardiff with a goal kick. They go short to the left back. Lovely little chip out to him, and they've got an extra man over in the middle. We've pressed really high there, and I'm not sure it's worked. Earl's coming forward on the right. He beats 2 men, gets to the edge unopposed, tries to shoot and get the glory himself, but he's put it wide of the post on his weaker foot. It's Cardiff with a corner again though. Earl's the man taking it. He's been involved in everything today, but that might just be because he's set piece taker. Edwards on the left side of the box. Back to that man Earl again. Tierney's shot's blocked. We're still throwing our body on the line, and Gerrard can come forward on the counter. He finds Frank Hall. Can he make himself a hero? Into the box. He had Gerrard square, but he tried to shoot. It was really greedy and it's cost us an equaliser. Ramsbottom with the corner. A left-footed outswinger. Taylor tries to get up, but is cleared away, and Dysart gets it wide again. Ramsbottom to the front post. Hall back to Reece Williams, but he's a bit slow on the ball, and the Cardiff man wins it. It's a corner for Cardiff. Earl's going to take it. McDonald heads away, having just got a yellow card. Tierney's shot's blocked by that man again, and Strano gets it wide to the left back. He's offside. It's gone out for a free kick, and we're just going to go to attacking, just to try and get an equaliser in the last minute plus stoppage time. 4 minutes added on. Can we create that one special chance? The time's up, the free kick will be taken. Bass makes a brilliant save coincidentally, but as Taylor clears, the whistle will go. We lose 1-0 on the final day of the season. It ends a run of 3 wins in a row, but with a really young side out, I'm delighted with that performance. The assistant manager wants us to sympathise. We're going to do exactly that, and we'll go and see what the media have said before completing our end of season review. So obviously we knew that Cardiff were going to leapfrog us today. Bristol City have done that as well. They managed to get a point against Hull, which manages to keep Hull below us as well. Reading and Sunderland finished below too, so up in 10th place, our highest ever finished in the series so far. So amongst that negative run in the last few months, there's plenty of positives to be had at the club. Let's quickly see what the media said. We fell to a late defeat. We really had loads of fouls committed in that game. For someone who wants to stay on our feet, it's a little bit of a strange commitment. We've got the least yellow cards in the league, so I'm not quite sure why that's happened, but it's our last game in that formation and we no longer have to work out the impossible. So Stoke get the final championship playoff place. They can thank us for that 5-4 win at our place. We really gifted them that one, and that's got them a place in the championship playoffs. Let's go and look at the schedule then. You can see that we did finish with a defeat, but after winning our last game at Plainmoor, I probably would have taken that. If we go to the competition screen, so you can see our disappointment in the Cups. We lost to Premier League Watford in the second round of the Carabao Cup, and a disappointing one at home to Bradford in the FA Cup 4th round. Where did they finish this season? They finished in 21st place, but they avoided relegation by a mile as the 3 teams down there were marooned. Let's finally go to the squad and have a look at their appearances this season. We want to see who have been the standout players. We'll bring the unavailable players back so we can see Adam Lewis in that, as he's by far been the standout man. 7.37's his rating. A few others above a 7 as well. Nico Williams on the other wing. Reece Williams at centre half. And then the striker Broja, as well as Ian McCann, interestingly, who had a late season surge. Quite ironically, when he was forced to play in central midfield for a few games, he did actually get a better average rating, so that's something that helps me moving forward. Alex Bass was ever dependable again. He just needs some better defenders in front of him. If we go to the appearance order, Alex Bass made the most. Broja not far behind, which is brilliant for a striker. Then the 3 centre halves all level on 45. They all played a part, but the other 2 aren't quite good enough. So ideally next year in a back 4 we'll have Williams and 1 other first team signing. Brown and Chalabar will be our replacements, and then the 2 young ones can be loaned out as we try to get them first team football. Don't forget Johnny Burns moving on for a new challenge. We've got to say goodbye to the club captain, but we'll give him a proper feature in a moment. In terms of goals this season, it's all expected at the top. Armando Broja on 24, Bobby Duncan on 17, and Adam Lewis reaching double figures as well. He's got 10 goals and assists apiece. John Gerrard deserves a special mention. Just 3 starts all year, but manages 7 goals in his 27 sub appearances. Really good work from him, and he's going to be an absolute star for us in the future. Assist wise, we've got Adam Lewis at the top. He's on 10, but this year he's been beaten by his other wing back, Nico Williams, with 12. Although he doesn't contribute with goals, so it evens out towards Lewis's favour. Bobby Duncan and McCann got a few as well, as did Armando Broja, and Reece Williams is still deadly from set pieces, 5 assists to go with his 4 goals. I'm really glad to see Richard Quirk getting a few as well. He got 4 assists and 2 goals. He's really starting to improve his attacking game. If we go and have a quick look at him, his attributes improve all the time. Physically, he's becoming an absolute monster, and he's becoming a really good rounded fullback who's going to be a first choice player next year. We'll get him in his preferred right back role and then let him surge forward from the back. Very quickly, we'll look at the other 2 stars from our previous youth intakes. John Gerrard up front, not improving quite as quickly, but he's not had as much game time in truth. Next year we'll try and change that, get him a few starts where possible. And then last but not least, Emmanuel Fibrasima. He's becoming a bit of a star as well. Only 1.5 star current ability, but he's got that 5-star potential. And still only 16, don't forget, and he's now made 11 league appearances. But at the end, we do have to focus on one man today, our club captain Johnny Byrne. It's likely he'll be going in the summer. He's requested a new challenge, and unfortunately he's not going to make it at this level. Just 2-star ability now, and the wrong side of 30 as well. But if we go and look at his history, 200 appearances plus for us. I think it was 209 he got in total. 12 goals for the club as well. And barring our first promotion, he's been involved every season since, although he didn't make a league appearance this year. He was instrumental in a team that won promotion from the National League via the playoffs. He was a captain in a League 2 winning campaign and the League 1 a few years later. A really brilliant achievement, and he's going to be fondly remembered. I just want to go and see if he's part of the favoured personnel. He certainly deserves it for his contribution. Let's quickly have a look at the general information about the club then. We'll find out if he's there anywhere. That's absolutely shocking if he's not. Reece Williams is up there. He abandoned us halfway through. Johnny Byrne's been there all the way through. It's such a shame that. Mikhail Kennedy's even on the icons, and he only played here for about 2 years. I'm really disappointed in that. It seems defensive players don't get remembered on here. One thing that does make me feel significantly better though is that I'm now a club legend, the only manager on that list with a few former players, so that's a brilliant thing for us, and imagine what will happen if we get them to the Premier League. One thing that's perhaps not so good though, the average season ticket price is £676. That's absolutely extortionate. No wonder that we didn't sell out in the first couple of years at this level. I hope it's not the same for the new stadium. Although we probably sell it out, that's not the way we want to be making money. Having said that, an increased matchday revenue will lead to a bigger transfer and wage budget and mean we can have a busier transfer special at the start of the next season, so season 10 episode 1 should be a cracker. I hope you'll come and join me for that. We'll finish on the screen of Owen Jack so we can see how he got on in his first year in the Premier League. 13 goals in 25 stars, although it seems he's dropped to a rotation option for Palace. He's extremely poor in the dynamics for some reason, so maybe he's on his way out there, although he's a little bit high on the wage front for us to be considering him again. But maybe one day in the future our paths will meet for a second time. It's happened so many times before, we wouldn't rule it out just yet. But a big summer to come. The next 2 episodes are going to be so exciting. We've got a massive transfer special at the start of next season, and then we're going to do something a little bit different for the first game of the season. We're not going to play it if it's an away game. Our first game will be whatever our first home match is. We're going to grace the new stadium, and we've got something a little special lined up, so I hope you'll come and join me for those. But if you did enjoy this episode and this season, please put a thumbs up on the video as always. I really do appreciate your continued support. Let me know in the comments what you think we need to look at in the summer. We're planning on returning to a back 4 as I've mentioned, so which areas of the team do you think we need to strengthen? Where do you think our biggest gaps are? Subscribe to the channel for daily FM19 content from my 2 long-term stories, this one with Torquay United and our Journeyman series The Head Coach. We had our biggest episode of that series so far yesterday. It was a really monumental moment and I hope you'll go back and check it out. It really was plenty of fun to make. There's also some new content coming on the channel from the brand new Snooker 19 game. It's out today as this episode's released, so there should be one dropping today or tomorrow with a bit of a review of the game, followed by a little short career mode series on Fridays. But a massive thanks for watching as always, I really do appreciate it, and we'll see you next time for a transfer special from Torquay, as well as an introduction to our new stadium.